Hi, Gerhard Bloom, once again looking at the tyranny and the delusions of the social justice movement. So in intelligence circles, we call it the bluff. Bottom line up front. And here's the bottom line. Iran's nuclear facilities need to be bombed out of existence, and this needs to happen quickly. And the United States should be the one to do the job, right? The United States has 30,000-pound bunker-busting bombs. Israel does not have an aircraft that can carry such a load, right? There are now B-2 bombers, strategic bombers, the United States military has, and Diego Garcia. There are 2 aircraft carrier groups in the region. This needs to happen. Trump says the administration, they've made progress. They've made progress, have they? No, they haven't made any progress. None at all. They've had 5 rounds of negotiations and they're planning for the 6th round. And at the start of this negotiation process, Trump administration, Iran will not be allowed to have a uranium enrichment program. None at all. And Iran keeps insisting it will have a uranium enrichment program. But they'll negotiate on, inspections and all of that. Iran cheats. It lies and it cheats. It can have a nuclear program. Well, how can they do that without uranium enrichment? There are more than 50 countries around the world that get enriched uranium from countries that are responsible citizens of the world. Iran can get it from, say, France, right? France. But it can't have a uranium enrichment program. Its enriched uranium now is well beyond anything a civilian nuclear program needs. How do they explain that? They don't explain that at all. And if the United States doesn't do it, Israel will. And as I mentioned, they may not have sufficient horsepower to take those facilities out of commission, right? Buried deep underground. And this is the best time ever to launch such an attack. Why? Because preceding October 7th and all of the chaos that subsequently followed, Hizbollah is, nearly toothless. Yeah, it can launch a few rockets, but it can't launch thousands of rockets. The Houthis, same thing. It can launch, rockets, but it can't launch en masse. Its operational capacity, as with Hezbollah, extremely degraded. Same with Hamas, which, by the way, is nearly collapsing. And Iran itself, after launching, a barrage of rockets and missiles towards Israel went in there and gave them a major spanking and took out nearly all of their major air defense systems. So while Israel's neighbors, its militant adversaries, their operational capacities are seriously degraded, now is the time. You might not know this. When Benjamin Netanyahu was previously in office, they were seriously considering taking out those nuclear facilities. And why didn't they? Because of the expected blowback, right? Now that expected blowback is seriously degraded, and there will be some blowback. And you have people like Tucker Carlson. We don't need a war with Iran. It's not going to be a war with Iran. The United States, if it does the job right, it will take out the nuclear facilities. It will take out a large amount of Iranian military facilities and hardware and walk away. No boots on the ground, no war. That is that. And let Iran decide. I'm guessing it will decide not to mess with the United States, right? You don't want to mess with that bear. And another thing, Syria. After the fall of Bashar al-Assad, the Israeli military, fearing that advanced weapon systems, ships, airplanes, missiles, munitions, might fall in the hands of radicals, destroyed them. So at any rate, now it needs to happen. Talking's over, right? What's on subtle negotiations? There's no negotiating, right? Iran wants to keep its enrichment program, and the United States says, no, you're not having it. What's happening now is while Iran draws out these discussions is Iran is racing, sprinting towards the bomb, right? So this can't wait. This can't wait. And if the United States doesn't do it, Israel will do the best job it can. At any rate, thank you so much for your time and attention. Do drop a thumbs up. It gratifies my fragile male ego. And check out my book, Deconstructing Social Justice. You'll understand why the Palestinians are the bad guys. They're on the side of Hitler and the Nazis. If you know anything about the Second World War and the Palestinians in the region, Palestinian Arabs, right? Everybody in the region was Palestinian, Jews included. At any rate, and you'll understand why Israel needs to exist. There's a moral necessity for the existence of Israel. It is like an aircraft carrier of Western civilization in a sea of barbarism. Although there are promising signs on that front, because the UAE, Saudi Arabia, these countries have much more to fear from Iran than they do from Israel. Israel wants to adopt a good neighbor policy in Iran, and the Shia Muslims there, well, the theocratic mullahs at least, and the IRGC have a deep hatred for Sunni Muslims, headed up by Saudi Arabia. So they want to make a deal with Israel because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Anyways, thanks so much. And guess what? Saudi Arabia does not want a nuclear-armed Iran. And if Iran gets a bomb, there'll be other countries in the region sprinting towards a bomb. And the other thing to consider is, if Iran had nuclear weapons at the start of October 7th, Hizbollah, the Houthis, and Hamas would all have had a nuclear shield. That would place Israel in an unwinnable situation. At any rate, so Israel is winning, needs to keep winning. Anyways, thanks so much for your time and attention. Bye-bye now.